Hi everyone, it's Karen on the Lake Stamper here in Grand Blanc, Michigan, and we're doing the beautiful Countdown to Christmas. This is under my Stamp Camp Creative Series and Christmas Series, and I'm really loving how it came out. Now, I'm going to show you how to put this together, okay? And you're just going to really love the way that this kind of all comes together, okay? I'm going to show you these little pictures here and how to kind of put this together. But the first things first, before we go through all this beautiful stuff, is let's get the body of it ready, okay? You're going to have 3 of these beautiful cardstock, okay? They're all different sizes. Every one of these are different sizes, except for the 6 1/4 size. They're all 6 1/4. But they all start out a little bit different. The very first one is 10 3/4 times 6 1/4. All right, 10 3/4 times 6 1/4, and you're going to see the difference when I get these together. The second one that you're going to cut and get ready is 10 1/2 by 6 1/4. All right, 10 1/2 by 6 1/4. The last one is 10 1/4 times 6 1/4. 10 1/4. All right. Now, you take the very first one, and we're going to score all of these at 5. Okay. We're going to flip them, so they're going to be scored at 5, all of them. So here's the first one, and this is going to be your biggest spread, and you'll see the difference when I show you after we've done the scoring. Okay, so I've got the scoring, and you'll see that this makes it looks like a binder of a book, right? All right, so remember that for just a moment. Okay. Okay, now let's take the second one, and this one's going to be at 5 again, scored at 5. Flip it and scored at 5 again, okay? Okay, so we're going to do this one. Looks like the last one. So let me just put this one here for just a second. This is my second one, and you'll be able to tell the difference, and I'll show you in just a second. This is the one that is 10 1/2 times 6 1/4. We're going to score this at 5. I just happen to know which one's which, so that's why. And then this one's at 5. Okay. Okay. So this one is your second one, and you can tell the difference, right? This one is a little bit smaller, all right, than this one. See the difference? And then the very last one, which was the 10 1/4 times 6 1/4 and scored at 5 both ways. This is your baby one. Okay, so you've got your big guy, your middle guy, and then the baby one. Okay, so we're gonna move this, and what you want to do is, and it looks like everything's wrong. It looks like you scored it wrong. It looks like you cut it wrong. Everything's, oh my God, wrong. It's not. You put the baby one into the middle one. You put the middle one into the big one, and then look what it does. It makes a book. And then this way, the pages aren't sticking out from the other pages. And so it looks just like a book. See that right there? And all you're doing is lining up with tear tape, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take some tear tape and or a little bit of Tombow glue. It's up to you what you like to use. Let me get this going, and I'll be right back. Okay. And this one. Okay. Okay, so I tear taped these two. And the reason I tear taped this one and not this one is because this is the last one. You don't need to tear tape this, okay? You can also tear tape here, and also on this one here, okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add some extra adhesive over this as soon as I take this tear tape off. So this is my big guy, so you can tell the difference, okay? And I'm just going to take that off. I do like to add a little bit more just for some security. Okay, and then I'm going to take the middle one. You can tell the difference, right? And I'm just going to line it up. They're both 6 1/4 by the height, okay? It's just the length that's different. And I want to get it right into the this 2 score lines, okay? And you've got a second if you feel like you haven't gotten it in. And it looks like I have, so I'm good. I'm just going to, in fact, let's let me see if I've got my, let's burnish that, okay? Okay, now here's your next one. And then a little extra. Take your very last one, line that up in the middle. Pretty easy to see. Okay, like that. There you go. And then burnish this one. There. And then I like to just do a quickie here on all 3 of them at the same time. Now I've got a nice book ready to go and ready to decorate. Isn't that great? Look at that. So this is my first page, second, third. This is your middle. You can tell this is your middle because you can see the little line of this 3rd page, right? And then here's my other one. And then here's my other one. I'm loving this. All right, so that is what you need to do first. All right, so we have this already set. And if you put it like sitting up on your desk and just spread out the little book, you'll see how the pages really conform really nicely because we put the different types of scoring in sizes, I should say, of this paper. And it looks so nice, doesn't it? Now, when you do the front and the back, you are not going to just glue the front and back. You definitely will have to have your ribbon first because we're going to glue this, okay, onto this and then onto your book. And then we're going to put the cover and the back on. We're not going to do that right this minute. I kind of wait till a little bit later. All right, you're going to get this. You've got the Traditions of Christmas. You've got the sticker set. That's how you make your countdown. And this will be kind of fun. You can do the first 12 days of Christmas, or you can do the last 12 days. It's up to you, okay? Or you can make 2 books. You'll have plenty of paper, okay? Because you get the whole Traditions of Christmas. So let's start with the first one. Now I use the green, and you can use any color you want. Okay, as long as and you're going to make 1 page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7, I should say 7 and 8. Okay, not counting the front and back. 8 of the papers are going to be needed for the inside. 2 of the papers are going to have just basic white. So you can put pictures here, or you can journal here, or whatever, okay? So that's what you want to do with that, okay? Now, I'm going to take this just to show you. I'm going to take this little guy here, and I'm going to do, I think I'll do this one here, and I'll do a solid, okay? Just to kind of show you what is needed. Now, every page is going to be 4 3/4 times 6. 4 3/4 times 6. All right. And so let's just cut a few of these, okay? I'll cut these two right here. And I've got new blades, and boy, what a big difference when you get new blades. I swear, smooth as butter, right? Okay, so here's 6, and then we want 4 3/4. Okay, so 4 3/4. This is not directional paper. You don't really have to worry about it. I should have spoke. Yep, see, it's not directional, so it's not a big deal. And what you're going to see first is you're going to cut all your paper first, because you're going to find out which one you might want on the front, which one you want on the back, which one you want, together, and so forth, so forth and so on. So I do like this one. And I know I want to do something else with that, but even though it's, a solid color, it's still pretty. And then something like this for this one here, okay? Now, I'm not going to do all the pages. This is pretty simple for you to do. You get to choose what paper you want to have for all these, okay? Except for 2 of them. 2 of them are going to have basic white at 4 3/4 times 6. 2 of them. It's up to you. If you don't want to have that, you don't have to. But I did this. I put a picture in here, and that was one of them, and here was the other one. And then you can decorate with leftover paper. Okay, that was 1 inch by 6. I'm sorry, yeah, by 6. And then you can decorate with your stickers. Okay, so I think that came out so cute. So the first thing I would like to show you at least is, what are we doing when it comes to the little pockets, okay? So you will have gotten the branching out dies, so it's pretty simple. There's 3 branching out dies on here. The word joy is on here with gold, and very simple to put together. And you can put this together any way you like, okay? I used the largest, the second largest, and the third largest, the first 3 branching out dies. I used obviously our big alphabet dies, and I did the J and the Y. And I'll show you how to do this. It's so cute. So cute. And if you don't want to do this and you just want to use the letter O, then go for it. You'll get all these die cut. You'll get all this already ready to make this cute little thing. And I decorated this using those stickers that are in our sticker. Okay. So obviously you can use these stickers. You can use leftover paper. I used about 3/4 times 6, and that made those first 3. Isn't that cute? That kind of, break up the monotony, so it's kind of got some more color to it. And then this little guy here, you're going to get some of the Memory More card pack, and these are 3x4. So if these are 3x4, your mat's going to be 3 1/4 times 4 1/4, and that'll be already cut. So that's ready to rock and roll. And I punched these out with that new 1 3/8 punch. Really cute little punch, so you can pop up your numbers, right? Here's your numbers. And I thought that came out, this is using that 2-tone paper as well, okay? These are, again, the branching out dies, but isn't this darling? I used the Modern Day Christmas to make this cute little ornament. And all I did was some basic white and this little DSP, and of course the beautiful little holly that comes on our little traditions of Christmas. So, darling, you'll have this cut out, okay? You can cut out all the fun little stuff for yourself. And you'll get some more beautiful sentiments to use all over. You'll have ribbon. So I did these. These are darling, okay? You won't have to do these. You're going to get this so you can add your own ribbon or some kind of cute stuff like that. And I have those kind of right here. So I played around with the Fright Night, and I thought these came out so cute. You can stamp something right here if you like, or you'll get maybe one of these. It already has Joyful Days on it, and I thought they came out darling. So kind of a great idea to use the little Fright Night, and then use the bigger one. I have to make those for you, and then you can just put those in any of your little pockets. Okay, isn't that cute? Again, we've got more of the Memory More, just a couple of these we're using. And then Home for the Holidays, which is right in your sticker, okay? That was for my day 5, okay? So very cute, very, very, very cute. I thought so. Now, you're probably wondering about the little pockets, okay? So, what I'm going to do with that is, for instance, I'm going to use one of this. I'm going to use this one just to show you. These are 2.5. All right. So they're 2.5 by, let's see. 2.5. Well, they're 2.5 by 6. If I do it this way, this way, it's going to be 2.5 by 4 7/8. So this way is 2.5 by 6, and I already know this is at 6, and then I'm just going to make this at 2.5, and we're going to use a little notch, and we're going to notch that. But you'll see how that fits very nicely. Okay. On the lengthwise or the height wise, okay? Now, I wanted to do it this way, horizontally, it would be 2.5 by 4 7/8. Whatever this paper, which is 4 7/8 times 6, you know that this is going to be 4 7/8, all right? So, I didn't put any pockets here, but I did put a pocket lengthwise, okay? And then you get a little... just a little notch is all you need, right? So I use a baby one, and I just do, okay, that looks good. half moon, and then you've got this cute little guy, and it looks darling right on your paper. So again, you're going to have this, which is Memory More, and then you're going to have a border to put on there, and then you got some place to write, right? And then here is one that is 4 7/8 times 2.5, okay? So this one is too long, but if you didn't want it this way, you wanted it maybe this way, you could do it that way as well. All right, so it's all different kinds of styles. I did the long one here, I did the horizontal here, and then of course I made these cute little tags, and I used the stickers from here to just kind of put them on here one by one with some extra leftover paper. And you'll get some of these. This is from my Scan and Cut. I used the 2-tone paper, and they came out just darling, right? And then this is the Christmas sticker that I used. Came out really darling. 4 7/8 is all you need, and stick that down with some leftover 1 inch by 6. All right, and then more tags. See, I decorated this with leftover, and then used the Oh What Fun. Oh my gosh, Oh What Fun right here. Isn't that cute? So, and more ribbon, okay, because you're getting ribbon. And also, I just did this for fun. I wanted to see how the Merry Christmas would sit on this, and it looked really cute. And you can do whatever you want to with these little guys that I give you. You can leave them plain if you want, or whatever, okay? It's just a really cute way to put the little number on here on one of the tags. And then, of course, here's some more stickers. Now, the fun part gets to where you're doing the decorating on the top or on the front page, right? So you'll have these in gold, and you've got these 3 layers, okay? I really do pop these up, but this is the fun part right here. You're going to cut out 3 different designs in a set of 3, okay? So for instance, I punched out 3 of this design, 3 of this design, and 3 of this design, okay? So, and then 1 white, and that's my base, all right? So what you do after that is you start to fold, all right, just in half. You can use your bone folder if you like, or not. It's up to you. You can go either way. Doesn't have to be consistent. And I kind of played around with different ways, you know. So I've got these 4 done. Now I'm gonna just do this little guy here. These are cute ornaments too. These are great to make with kids. They're really easy. They're fun to do. You can't go wrong. Okay. You can't mess up on this. All right. Now I don't want the secret seed to be seen as much, so I am going to cover all those up. Okay. And I'm going to cover that little guy. And then this one, I think I'm going to do this way. Okay. Now I've done. Super. And I've got my basic white that I couldn't see on my desk. Okay, first thing is what we're going to do is we're going to glue this first one right on here. Okay, so just take your adhesive, whatever you want to use. If you use Tombow, don't use a lot because it'll warp it. It'll warp the DSP. Okay, so there we go. In fact, let's use something darker that you can see. Okay, there we go. And it's okay to bone fold these as well. Okay, so take your second one and just put that right on top of that one. Okay. I'm just using this background so you can see it better because it's pretty tiny, right? In fact, I'll get a little bit closer here. And we're just gonna line that up. And then you just keep going. I'll just, maybe I'll speed this up so you can. Now, the very last one is going to be glued on here and then on here, all right? So we're going to glue this one here. And then we're going to put this right on top. Okay, bone fold it. And then take your glue or adhesive. And then you're just going to fold that over and bam. Now, I like to give it a nice burnish all over. And then you want to fluff it up. And it's so cute. And this is so darling, okay? And this is how, and see how this is your base, okay? This is your base, and then you just start to spread these out, okay? You'll start to see which ones you like, you know, better. You're like, oh, I want this one, you know, or oh, I want this one. Now, see, I showed my black where I should have turned those around, and so I realized that if it's inside, it's going to show. So I have to remember that. If it's inside, when you folded it, that's the part that's going to show, all right? So I thought it was the other way around, but it was not, but it still looks cute. And then that is how we made this. And then really simple to glue this down because it has a base, okay? And in fact, it's got a couple of these that are all stuck together. There we go. And I mean, you could go crazy making these, okay? You could put a little twine in here, hang it up, or a little gold chain. That would be darling. And then you could keep, but then if you wanted to make this an ornament, you don't put the base on. You would just keep going all the way around. Now, the reason we put a base on it is I want to be able to put it right on here and glue it, okay? But have these sticking up. And they're nice and thick because they're doubled up. And so if you, for instance, you flatten it up a little bit, it'll pop right up, okay? So you'll get the letters J and Y, and this little guy, I'm just going to put right here. He seems to want to come off. Now, again, you'll get the branching out dies, and then you can decorate this as you want, right? Now, remember what I told you about this side and this side. You'll see that I don't have any ribbon showing, right? And this is 3/4, all right, times 6 for your binder. But don't put this on until after you've put the ribbon on, okay? So when you put this ribbon on, okay, you would put this on first. And I always get it half, all right, so it looks nice and even. All right, it's about 27 inches, all right, maybe 30. I always give myself a little extra. And then I'm not going to glue this now because I might make another one. So I would glue here and here. And that's all you have to do. And then you can set that aside, and that reminds you that, okay, I have this on. Now I can start decorating the front, right? Now I can start decorating the binder, and now I can start decorating the back. So if you want to do that and just have it on there, the only reason I don't do it right away is because it's in my way, and I want to do that kind of last. This is my last page that I really put together. I put this together on the table, and then I glue it on, but some people like to glue it on and then decorate as you see fit. Okay, so again, I won't go over all of this stuff because it's pretty easy to decorate. Obviously, as soon as you pick out all your paper, like I suggested, you can start to put your pockets in. There's 2 different ways, remember that, okay? The 2.5 by 6 or the 2.5 by 4 7/8. Okay, it's up to you. And don't forget to put a notch in them. You don't have to if you don't want to, or if you forget. Like this one doesn't have a notch because I wanted to be able to use the word Christmas all the way, right? Again, you'll have the white paper already cut and ready for you to put in your book, all right? The rest of the stuff just has to be cut, and it's very simple, all right? Very simple. And you're going to have so much fun putting this together, and especially putting this little guy together. He's so cute. And if you don't want to use the pop-up for the letter O, you could just use one of the punches and just flatten it down if you want, and just don't put them in half, because then you'll see the little half mark. But I think it looks kind of cute. It's very 3-dimensional, and it really shows off the paper. And that's what I really wanted to do. And then, of course, the fatter you make these, the better. I think they look just darling fat with all their little tags in. They're so cute, right? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you had a good time making this. And then, of course, your tags are going to be amazing to put on here, and then put inside and make this a special book for somebody special. All right, well, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you have fun making this little guy, okay? Well, take care and happy crafting.